He's working to eliminate Black history. He is trying to eliminate Black existence from this country, but he's also attacking the LGBTQ plus
I wouldn't say he's trying to eliminate Black existence.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course it helps you because it helps us. It keep bringing you this fabulous content, people. You know. Now, y'all, today we're going to talk about your boy, Brandon Johnson. You know, he's one of my favorite people to talk about. You might wonder why. Because he's probably about my age. Yo, he's probably what? Somewhere in his early mid 40s, looks like, right? And I imagine we must have had similar upbringings, right? But the guy came out with a totally different worldview than the one I have. As you saw from that coming up clip, he looks at the current administration and he sees an administration that's trying to erase Black existence. I mean, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds tough. And I don't see that at all. Now, do I see some difficult situations? Yes. Do I see things that people could interpret in a certain way? Absolutely, 100%. But do I see an erasure of our existence? No, I don't. So I like talking about this guy, I like looking at this guy. And you know what? My gut feeling, my deep down inside is that he's not a very popular or very good leader of Chicago. He's probably a great guy though, right? But just not an effective leader. And I think what he has done is moved into this like revolutionary, like the revolutionary, like the civil rights leader motif. The mold of that, I think that's where he's trying to move, but he's not very good at that either. Again, probably a great guy, probably be a wonderful friend, probably be a wonderful guy to have a conversation, even an intellectual conversation with, but just not the guy you want leading. That's my opinion. But I'm not from Chicago. Y'all in Chicago, let me know what you think. So y'all, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take a look at a few things that are happening in Chicago. And as you can see, your boy is at the center of all of them. Now, the first thing is we all know Chicago has been known, unfortunately, for its violence, particularly among young people. And so one of the ways that people have thought to help ameliorate the violence is a teen curfew. Now, I have seen teen curfews work. They do work, y'all, believe it or not. They help bring down the violence. But see, your boy, he used to be a school teacher. So when we're seeing a murderer, a young person who's a murderer, he's seeing little Billy who just needs a hug and some guidance. And that's one of the reasons why he does not want to, that's my opinion. This is my opinion. This is my interpretation. One of the reasons he does not want to implement a curfew, right? He doesn't want to mistreat little Billy. He just wants little Billy to have some guidance. So the local government has passed a curfew, and now your boy says, nah, man, I'm going to veto. The first veto of his whole administration is going to be the teen curfew. Let's take a look.
It's unlikely supporters of the ordinance have the 34 votes in the council needed to override that veto. The mayor calling the legislation a, quote, politicized knee-jerk reaction.
Offering up police power, extended police power without any check or balance has not boded well for Black people and brown people in this country.
The mayor's veto announcement came an hour and a half after city council members voted 27-22 to pass the ordinance, allowing the CPD superintendent, after adhering to a set of rules, to impose an earlier curfew in response to so-called teen takeovers.
This will be used in a constitutional and effective manner, and all the notice requirements that are in the ordinance will be adhered to.
The mayor's veto was not a surprise.
It is the necessary step, so that we don't find ourselves in a situation where 20, 30, 40 years from now, we look back and we end up engineering the same type of carceral state that we're trying to disrupt.
The mayor leaning into his summer programs and jobs for youth, which he's credited for a drop in crime.
I think it was the right decision to veto it, and we need to move forward and find things to do better for the youth.
But at least one downtown neighborhood group says the curfew also has the safety of kids in mind.
It's not about just protecting the neighborhood and the businesses there. We had a tool, it was recognized today, and that finally passed, and I'm excited about. To veto this without a backup plan, I don't know if that's the best path forward.
We're told the mayor will veto the ordinance this week, likely on Friday, the same day summer officially begins.
Now, among his other unpopular policies, of course, has been his welcoming city policy. I know he didn't invent that, people. I know he's just continuing a policy that's been around for decades, but he has his own instantiation of the policy, and it's bringing additional scrutiny and additional problems to the city because of how he's handling the situation. So now Chicago is gearing up, bracing for like an ice swarm, a swarm of ice. It's going to be a cold summer because ICE is targeting Chicago, particularly because of your boy. Let's take a look at that. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not going to make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement.
Mayor Brandon Johnson's team signaling that federal immigration tactical teams could arrive in Chicago as soon as today.
Their deployment comes as new protests are planned in the Loop and just days before a nationwide demonstration that could draw thousands. Our Darius Johnson is live near Grant Park with what we are learning about their arrival and the growing pushback. Good morning, Darius.
Hey there, Chris and Dana. Good morning to you both. Those same ICE tactical teams that we've really seen throughout the city of Los Angeles for days now could soon be right here in the city of Chicago in mini tanks and in riot gear targeting undocumented immigrants. Advocates and community leaders both say they are not waiting to respond. As a response to that, they are holding a press conference this morning and later on marching through the Loop. Take a look. Chicago is one of 5 Democratic-led cities along with New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, and Atlanta expecting these tactical units. The city says it received 48 hours notice and operations could begin as soon as today. Their purpose would be to target the undocumented wherever that may be, including work. Just Tuesday, a 6-hour protest in the Loop ended with 17 arrests, 4 now facing felony charges. Here's what city leaders had to say in the last 24 hours about learning about ICE tactical teams arriving.
We have a tyrant in the White House who has a complete disregard for our Constitution. While federal immigration enforcement have jurisdiction, we want to continue to assure that all Chicagoans know their rights.
And finally, why is he doing all of this? What is the root cause of all these bad decisions? And in my opinion, somewhat inexplicable decisions, but maybe they're explicable if you take his worldview. So what is his worldview? Well, we're going to go now to the clip that you saw at the beginning in the coming up. He thinks that this administration is trying to somehow erase black people, brown people, like somehow get rid of, I don't know, like that, that's what he thinks. I guess when you take that worldview, you can understand all of the terrible decisions he's making. Let's take a look at this clip as well.
As you well know, the city is facing a significant budget deficit and spending hundreds of millions of dollars on migrant support. How do you justify these expenditures to taxpayer concerned about other pressing needs that you just listed right there about the concerns?
Well, we are addressing those pressing needs, and the reason why we responded to this global crisis of the migrant mission was because the federal government failed to do its part. Governor Abbott spent over $220 million to ship people across America. Instead of working with Congress to actually pass substantive immigration reform policy, they wanted to create division. But we're not going to allow that to happen in the city of Chicago. Much like we fought for civil rights 60 years ago, we're going to continue to make sure that whether you are black, brown, Asian, white, young, old, working people deserve to be prioritized. And this misnomer that there's division, and consternation within communities solely based on this issue is just wrong.
So yeah, y'all, I have taken an interest in Chicago in large part due to this mayor who, again, he could have been my boy. He could have been my boy. He could have been my friend. He probably could be my friend, frankly. We will be debating and arguing his crazy views every day, though. He'd be one of those friends where you'd be like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up? Dog, you still off that crazy stuff? We would just have to go right into it, but it would be all good fun. So I wanted y'all to let me know, what do you think, y'all? So this is the question. How do y'all think somebody would come to these ridiculous views, right? I mean, again, is there some basis to think that people are being oppressed? I can see that. Is there some basis to think people are being targeted and mistreated? I can see that basis. Frankly, you know, I'm a reasonable person. But is there a basis to say that somebody is trying to erase your whole existence, that the president is trying to erase your race's whole existence? Like, come on, man. That's just dumb. All right. And this is obviously an educated person. Where do you think that comes from, y'all? Let me know down in the comments. But before you do, please stop, hit the share button, share the video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of your favorite, least favorite, and moderately favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. For my people with the retirement, hey, y'all, listen, we didn't go to war yet, thank God. But if we do, guess what's probably going to go through the roof? Gold. If we don't, guess what's probably still going to go through the roof? Gold. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Put in your information, download our free report on gold and how it can help protect your retirement, and then talk to my people at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. I want to thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.